Hi there, Renee here. I wanted to make a quick little video to talk about buying a home currently in 2023 in the state of Colorado. So that's where I am primarily based, in the Denver metro market, and there's about 6 or 7, depending on how you count it, metro counties that includes. However, buying within those counties follows the same 3 major steps. So I just wanted to touch on those very quickly today. The first step being, when I meet with you, I'm always going to want to find out what's the best way to communicate with you, when is the best time to get a hold of you, and how best do you want to receive information. A lot of people would like to receive it via email. That's great. Some even more prefer text. That's great too. I can also call. Most generally, if I send a text, I'm going to follow up with an email. If we have a phone call, I'm going to follow up with an email. If I send an email, I'm going to send you a text to let you know that there's an email in there. But I need to know primarily which one do you check the most and which one is the best for you. Also, we're going to go over the steps. On step 1, we know we need to be able to know how much we can afford and how much we want to spend. So along with communication is that we need to find a lender. I have a couple of preferred lenders that I work with that do a fantastic job for my clients. And if at any time when I suggest a lender or a vendor of any kind that doesn't do the best job for you, please let me know, because that is something that I take very seriously. They are team members of mine when it comes to the process, and if the lender isn't very responsive or you're not getting the level of service you would like, I would like to know about it. As always, my goal is to give you a 5-star level service with all parts of the transaction. So I'm going to find out how best you communicate, and then I'm going to ask you to go ahead and speak with the lender. Speak with more than one. Get your pre-approval letter. This is essentially our shopping piece of paper. Without that, we can't go see homes and we can't move forward. And then finally, on that first step, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and sign a buyer agency agreement with me. This allows me to advocate on your behalf. It requires me to be your fiduciary and to work for you, and it keeps us covered on the E&O insurance as well. So that all of that was in the first step of buying a home. Step number 2, that's the fun part, right? We get to get set up on searches. We get to go and look at properties. I utilize a couple of showing assistants to make sure that my team can best serve you and get you to where the houses you want to see, when you want to see them. This also includes relocation buyers. In the past couple of years, we've pivoted to have a lot more relocation buyers. So we'll send a team member out to video the property, to walk through it, to give you the ins and outs. We'll even FaceTime if that's available, and so that you can ask questions as we walk through the house. We always want to put your interests forward and think of you first. That's why we also go through and we define what are your top 5 must-haves and what can you not live with. So with the low inventory, we also want to go through and preview the properties. I go through and preview every single property that you may be set up to view, and I make sure that it includes those top 5. And if it does not, I'm going to send you a question via your preferred communication method and say, hey, are you really wanting to see this property? It doesn't have something you said is a necessity. Sometimes you only have 3 necessities and you have 7 things you can't live with. That's fine, but I'm going to preview each and every property before you go out to see it to make sure that it's good for you to go view. As you'll notice, we don't have any HGTV cameras. We're not shooting a TV show behind us or with us, so we're not really just going out to view homes just to see them. What we do is I narrow down very specifically what you want. I guide you into and out of different neighborhoods that may have those type of homes, and then if it fits, we go see it, and then we get to the third, or almost to the third process. We'll call it 2.5, we get to write an offer. In past years, we've written multiple offers on different homes to secure the property. Right now, currently, we're not really having to do that much. However, the spring market is picking up, so we may see that return. So we're gonna get set up on the search. I'm gonna preview properties. You're gonna go view properties with showing agents, and then we're gonna write offers. I'm always gonna speak with you about how best and to structure the offer, because I do talk with the listing agent first before we ever write. See what's most important to their clients so that we can write the most aggressive offer. It is not always the highest price. That's why I want to have that discussion with the other agent, figure out how best to write that and structure that offer, and so that you can get the home that you want. All right, step number 3, we've got an offer accepted. What do? Well, we're under contract. So the first week, we want to look at this in a 4-week process. It's usually how long it takes to close on a home. So the first week we drop off earnest money and we schedule the inspection. During that inspection, I'm there during the whole thing. You're more than welcome to be there for the whole thing. It takes a couple of hours depending on the size of the property. It can take up to 4 hours. If you want to do a sewer scope, a radon set, as well as the full home inspection. So that varies. And then in most cases, the buyer shows up the last half hour of the inspection or just has me shoot a video of the inspector explaining the report. Then you're gonna get the report. We're gonna go through it together. We're gonna talk through some of the items, see if we would like to write an objection, see if we would like to negotiate something on the contract. And then once we're through inspection and an objection as well as resolution, then that's in most of the second week. Then we move on to the appraisal. The appraisal is needed if you are getting a loan or some sort of mortgage on your property. The bank requires it. So that usually takes about 7 days. We want to get that scheduled as soon as possible. During all of these first 3 weeks, title is doing their research. They're going back, they're making sure that there's no liens on the property, nothing that would come up, say, after you took possession and would cost you additional money out of your pocket. So once we get to week number 4, we're setting up closing, we're going to closing, we're signing those final pieces of paper and with the wet signatures, and we're taking possession as a buyer. Congratulations, you have bought a house. So that's a quick explanation of the process. I just wanted to give you the basics. And of course, if you ever have any questions, let's sit down and talk. We can have that conversation. I would love to meet with you and answer any questions you may have, as well as assist you in the purchasing of your next home. Thanks so much for watching the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I have a ton more videos coming out. Have a wonderful day.